Welcome to 1984, Depiction of the Past. 1984 is a book that displayed the dangers of a totalitarian government. In this documentary, we're going to look at what historical events the book could be based on and how well they reflect the past. 1984 was based off the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. The governments had similar motives and views with the government we see in 1984. In the book 1984, we see the government being able to change the past. Fascist German leaders of the time boasted that if you could tell a lie loud and often enough, people would accept it as truth. Stalinist perfected this modus operandi by rewriting people and events in and out of history, distorting historical facts to suit the party's past purposes. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past is a famous quote by George Orwell. In 1984, many people are deleted from history. An example would be Syme, who was Winston's friend in the book. Syme is deleted from history as his intellect poses a threat to the government in Big Brother. The government in 1984 is one that has all power. They control everything. Much like Hitler from Nazi Germany, Big Brother ruled with an iron fist, eliminating those who did not share their visions on life. How did totalitarian governments of the past control their people?
Totalitarian governments of the past controlled their people through controlling the spread of information, so by controlling media sources, by having rules over which ideas could be spread and which ideas could not be spread, controlling the flow of information into the country and within the country so that only the ideas of the dominant party exist. The second would be to instill fear in the population by having some consequence of not falling in line. So you would have something like Gestapo police, you'd have some system where people could report on each other if they're not falling in line, and the consequences of not towing the party line are death or imprisonment or some kind of severe economic disadvantage. And then finally, another thing would be to create some kind of other in the minds of the people so that they feel united against some outside cause. For example, the Nazis create the Jews as another type of people so that as long as you are not a Jew, you belong to the greater whole of the Nazis.
In 1984, we see Winston get brainwashed. He was mentally broken from psychiatrical torture. Big Brother brainwashes the citizens of Oceania to believe his every word. The Soviet Union got people to believe their lies and even had the same slogan in the book, 2 + 2 = 5. The Soviet Union uses fear as a tactic to control its people, brainwashing their people or scaring them into believing whatever they say. In the book 1984, security is something the citizens lack. They have telescreens in their houses recording their every move. Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union were able to forcefully enter any person's house or living space. They also tracked how the prisoners were reacting to captivity and would punish those that did not follow the rules. In the book, we see Winston get caught by one of the telescreens breaking the rules. He is then punished and tortured for this rules breaking. George Orwell described what it was like to live under a totalitarian government and took direct examples from the real world and put them into his novel. We see his perspective on what was happening back then and how it was reflected into his book 1984.